What is going on, everyone? It's your boy, the Anime Shed, and we are going to do a deck profile for the new Enel deck. And this is the way I'm going to be running mine. Let me know in the comments how you're going to run yours. But let's get over to the hand cam and see exactly what I got in my deck. So, if you ever see me at one of the tournaments I play around Melbourne, generally at Grand J Games on a Tuesday night, this is the deck that I will be running. Obviously, I have not got the alternate leader yet, so we're going to be running the Enel. If we have a look at this card, when your number of life cards becomes 0, add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, then trash 1 card from your hand. Now, that is absolutely fantastic, because unless they can KO you and literally get rid of your life, and, you know, it doesn't matter, it's opponent's turn or your own turn. You basically, it's a saving grace. It's a fantastic leader to have. It's pure yellow, which is fantastic. Next up, what we are going to be playing is we got 4 Conus. Now, we're not playing her so much for her ability, but on play, you must play one of your stage... Sorry, on play, you must place one of your stages at the bottom of your deck. Draw 1 card, trash 1 card from your hand. Okay, so that's not too bad, but we're going to keep her in here because she's got a counter of 2,000 as well. And having the 2,000 counters are definitely good to block attacks. And with a deck like a yellow deck, you definitely want that ability to block. Next up, we have 2 Gidatsus. And I do have the ult, but I'm not putting it in my deck because it's got to go into my binder. But on play, carve up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal or less to the number of the opponent's life cards. Sorry, I can't even talk today. It's also got counter ability, which is handy. It's a 6,000 attack as well for a 5 cost. So it's an attacking card, but literally, if you go up against someone and they got 5 lives, you drop him, you can get rid of a character with a cost of 5 or less. It's great to get rid of, like, if you're playing a purple deck and they've got a queen blocker out for argument's sakes. It's a 5 cost. It's a blocker that's a pain in the ass because it's super strong. This gets rid of it. Literally gets rid of it. Now, you've got to be careful because certain cards can't be done by effects. So, it might not always work. Next up, we're playing Veggie. Now, we're playing this because triggers are very important in yellow decks. Now, this is a trigger. It's a 2,000 counter. You don't really play Veggie on the field too often. You can if you're desperate for players and you want to fill your board. But when you get a trigger, so if he's in your life cards, you pick him up to one of your opponent's leader or character cards cannot attack during this turn. Now, that is absolutely fantastic. And as I said, 2,000, so we keep 4 of him in the deck. Next up, we have another one that we're having 4 of, which is Satori. And there's 3 reasons we got this in there, and we got 4 of them. Firstly, he's a 5 cost with the 5,000 attack, which is fantastic. He has a trigger. You may trash 1 card for your hand and play this card. Again, which is fantastic, because triggers are important. And he also has a 2,000 counter. Hence why I have 4 Satori in my deck, and why it will remain as 4 Satori in my deck. Next up, and this is a Katakuri favorite right here, we have the Charlotte Pudding. Now, look at the top 4 cards from your deck. Reveal up to 1 Sanji, and you'll see why in a minute, or Big Mum Pirates type, other than Charlotte Pudding, and add it to your hand, then place the rest at your bottom deck. That's fantastic, because if you want to hunt for, like, for argument's sakes, Perespero or a Sanji or any of the Big Mum Pirates, you can literally use her to do it. And she's a 1 cost, so you can use her on your first turn if you're lucky enough to pull her out. Next up, we have only the 1 Perespero. Now, he's handy because when he's on the field, he's only a 3 cost, 5k. He's got a trash a card, you can play him. But he also, look at the top 3 cards on KO and reveal up to 1 Big Mum's Pirate cards. That can be a game changer. I know, because I've been screwed by it playing against Kata decks a heap. Next up, we have the Cracker. Now, this is handy because if you've got less lives, which 90% of the time when you are playing against anyone, and the yellow decks lose lives, but they can regain lives, so you don't mind losing. If you got less lives, he gets double attack, which is fantastic when you're going to end a game. He's a 4 cost, 5,000, but he also has a 1k counter, and he has a trigger, so you trash a card and you can play this card. That is awesome. So having 3 of them in the deck, that is why I have 3 of him in the deck. Next up we have, and this is a must in any yellow deck, we have the Sanji blocker. He's got 5k, so he's actually harder to block when they do attack. He's got a counter, he's got a trigger, trash a card and play this card, and he's only a 4 cost. So that's why I have 4 Sanjis. He's a blocker I actually have in my deck. And of course, we're playing the Enel deck. We can't not play Enel. So it's a 7 cost, 7,000 attack. But what I love about this, because I play Zoro a lot as well, and I love rush cards. It's a yellow card with rush. So if this character would leave the field, you may trash 1 card from the top of your life cards. Instead, if there is a Monkey D. Luffy character, this effect negated. So if you're playing against anyone that got Monkey D. Luffy, it won't work. But if they're going to KO Enel, you can trash a life card, which you can get back quite easily, and I'll show you how in a minute. You trash a card, and you can literally save Enel from being KO'd. That is a broken ability. Absolutely broken. Not to mention his leader ability, which is broken as well. Next up, people are going to think I'm stupid for playing 4 9-cost Yamatos, but this is just basically to guarantee I have one in my hand, and I can play it in the late stages of the game. So, K up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal or less than the total of your and your opponent's life cards. So say if I've got 1, but they've got 4, I can get rid of a cost of 5. Or say if I've got 3 and they've got 5, I can get rid of a cost of 8. Super handy. But not only that, then if you have 1 or less life cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. So if you've got 1 life card left, and they've got 4 for argument's sake, so you can add another 1. Or if you've got 0, you can add 1. Absolutely fantastic. Hence why I've got 4 Yamatos in this deck. That is the biggest reason why. Next up, we have Big Mum, 10 drop. Literally, 12,000. Not a card you play overly often, but if your leader has a Big Mum Pirates type, see, this is where it doesn't get me. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, then trash up to 1. So that, I'm going to have to rethink this card, actually. It's only if your leader is Big Mum Pirates. Okay, I think this card's going to get taken out of the deck. That sucks. I might have to put the 8 cost in. Actually, that might be a Big Mum's Pirate one as well. We'll see how that one goes. I'll try it. I'm playing in on Tuesday. I'll see how it goes. All right, next up we have stage cards. Now, stage cards are extremely important. And they're extremely important because we need to make sure triggered cards in here. So we got Thunderbolt. Now, KO up to one of your opponent's characters on trigger, which is good, with the cost of 5 or less. Absolutely fantastic. You may trash 1 card from the top of your life cards, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So you really want this card for the trigger, unless you've got like 4 lives and you've got a Yamato in hand or something, or you've got 2 lives in a Yamato. You can play this. Next shot, you can drop the Yamato. So it can work, but for the trigger effect, we're going to have 4 of them in there. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4. L4. Now, this is a trigger. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal or less of the number of life cards. So again, if you pull this, for argument's sake, they take your first life. This is your first trigger. It's fantastic. They got 5 lives left. Bang, 5 cost gone. So we got 4 of those in there. For the counter ability, it's literally a 1 cost. You can add 2,000 power. Then if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, this card gains an additional 2,000. So if you say they've got 1 life card left, instead of 2,000, you get 4,000 for a cost of 1. Absolutely fantastic. Good for late in the game. Definitely a banger. Next, we have, like I said, I don't play a lot of triggers in my red decks, but with yellow, you kind of, a lot of stage cards, but event cards, but with yellow, you definitely need them. All right, so this has a trigger on it as well. This is 200 million Volt Amaru. Now, if your leader, up to one of your leader or characters gain 3,000 plus power, then if you have 1 or less life cards, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 4 or less. Absolutely fantastic for late in the game. And it's got the trigger. You may trash 2 cards from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your life cards. Fantastic way to get life back, hence why there's 4 of those in the deck. And next up, second last set of cards, we got 3 of these. We got Diable Jambe Jew Shot. Now, the trigger is draw 1 card. Again, can really help you if you draw the right card, and then it's a counter of 6,000. Absolutely fantastic. This is from OPO4. It's just an uncommon, so it's quite easy to pull. And And OPO4 is still around. You can still find that pretty cheap. Also, it's in the gift collections. Now, for the stage card, I don't plan on playing stage cards too often. I don't have them in a lot of decks, but like, I have Onigashima in my Kaido deck, but here, I've only put one in. And it's because I don't really care if we don't have it, but it's look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to one Sky Island type card and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Now, that can be really good if you pull the right card. Say I need an Enel and I can pull him, fantastic. Or I need something for counter ability and I get a Satori or a Beji, or a Gatsu, or a Konus, definitely good. But if I played this, it would sit there and I wouldn't use it every turn because you could potentially be bottom decking cards that you could need in future draws. So you've got to be careful when you do that. Definitely got to be careful. It's the same with the Charlotte pudding. I've got 3 in there. I did have 4, but I took one out. But at the same time, I don't think I would use it all that often to actually get it because I do have a few. I've got the 4 Sanjis. If I haven't got a Sanji in hand, I would use it. Or if I needed, say, a Cracker or a Big Mum, then maybe. But I can't use this card to pull out a Beji, or I can't use this card to pull out of an Enel or a stage card. So you're limited to just the Big Mum Pirates or Sanji. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile video. I'm your boy, The Animation. We're going to be doing a few more of these. I'll run through the Zoro deck that I run in a future video as well. And I'll run through a few of the other decks that I'm running, my Kaido deck. And I'm also going to be building the Luffy deck, the purple Luffy from OPO5. So that one will be to come as well. Anyway, till next time, peace out, stay safe, much love, and as always, say hi to your mum for me.